Namaskar. Welcome to the Sadhana Saptak by Art of Living Academy of Performing Arts. Sunil Sunkaraji, thank you for this opportunity. My name is Kiran Java, and today we are going to have a look at the stories of Ashtachhap poet Sri Surdas Ji. I begin by pranams to Surdas Ji's Guru, Mahaprabhuji Sri Vallabhacharya Ji, born AD 1479. Pranams to his fourth grandson Sri Gokulnath Ji, born AD 1551, whose hagiographic records we are going to use today to learn the story of Surdas Ji. Pranams to Sri Vallabh's great grandson Sri Hari Rai Ji, born 1591, whose Bhav Prakash we will use. My pranams and gratitude to Sri Jayalakshmi Bahuji Maharaj, the wife of Sri Girdhar Lalji Maharaj of Sri Panchampit, Kamwan, Bharatpur, who comes in the lineage of Sri Vallabh and who absolutely insisted that I read these granthas to further my knowledge and bhav. Sri Gokulnath Ji, apart from his independent works, has written many tika commentaries on the work of his father and grandfather. His commentary on his father's famous Madhurashtakam and 16 Shodas Granthas is quite popular. Sri Gokulnath Ji's hagiographic records are called Chaurasi Vaishnav Varta. The commentary on these is called the Bhav Prakash and is written by Sri Hari Rai Ji. Let us begin from the Bhav Prakash. Sri Hari Rai Ji says that Surdas Ji is from Sri Krishna's eternal divine Leela play. He is a Sakha, friend of the Lord, and his name there is Krishna Sakha. Now the question arises that if he is a Sakha, then how does his poetry speak of the experiences of the Gopijan, and how can it speak of their Virha separation? Sri Hari Rai Ji explains this by taking the praman from the Srimad Bhagavatam that states that when the Sakhas accompany Sri Thakurji into the grove for Gaucharan Leela, that is Leela of grazing the cattle, the gopis experience Vira separation, and in their homes they sing of the Gaucharan Leela. And similarly, when Krishna visits for the evening Leela in the Kunj forest with the Sakhis, the Sakhas experience Vira separation and automatically sing of the Kunj Leelas of Thakurji with the gopis. Additionally, Apshri gives a second praman that the Kunj forest Leela Sakhis have two swarups, the Pumbhav and Stri Bhav. Now why is that? Because the Ved Richas are Gopijan and the Ved Mantras are Sakhajan. The Ved Richa and Mantra are one and the same, so the Gopijan and Sakhas are one and the same, and therefore are able to sing of Leelas experienced by each other. If we go to a prasang in one of the Puran, the Vedas sing of the undescribable Swarup of Sri Thakurji. They say, Purna Brahm has no feet and yet he can run. He has no hands and yet he can pick things up. The Veds also describe the Supreme Being as Raso Vaisaha, pure bliss. Now the Vedas said, we sing of the pure bliss, Raso Vaisaha, but we have never experienced it. The Lord then gives them a boon to appear as Gopijan, to directly experience the divine Leelas with Purna Purushottam Sri Krishna. Krishna and Radha are also one and the same, but Krishna appears in the home of Nand Baba and Radha appears at the house of Vrishabhanuji. This is just to facilitate the divine Leela play of the Lord. So now we have Surdas Ji who has appeared on earth, rather his Krishna Sakha aspect has appeared here on earth, and in the divine Kunj Leela, he is the Sakhi Champaklata. And therefore later, with the grace of Sri Vallabh, Surdas Ji sings of his complete experiences with the Lord. Now Surdas ji is born blind to a Sarasvat Brahman couple in the village of Sinhi, which is near Delhi. Incidentally, it is the same village where Raja Parikshit ji's son Janmajaya did the Sarp Yagya. The Brahman couple already had 3 children before Surdas ji was born and were utterly poor. And now they were very disgusted, upset, and unhappy that they have a 4th child who is born blind, and now they were going to, however, are they going to take care of him? One day, when Surdas ji was 6 years of age, a judgman of his father gives the Brahmin 2 gold mohurs, and he's absolutely delighted because it meant food for the family for 3 to 4 months. But in the night, a mouse takes away the gold mohurs, and all hell breaks loose the next morning. Surdas ji looks at his distraught parents and says, "If you will let me leave the house, I can tell where the gold mohurs are." They agree, and then he tells them, "Go look in a mouse tunnel in the wall." And they look, and sure enough, they find the gold mohurs. The parents are happy and ask Surdas ji to stay. But Surdas refuses. He takes his walking stick and he leaves the house. He walks for about 15 kilometers to the next village and settles under a peepal tree near a water tank. Now, 4 days later, the zamindar of the village visits him and says, "Look, I have these 10 cows that are missing. If you tell me where they are, I'll give you 2 of them." Surdas ji looks at the zamindar and says, "Why, what will I do with 2 cows? But I can tell you where your cows are." And he tells them where to look. Zamindar looks, finds his cows, and promptly comes back and gives Surdas ji 2 cows. When Surdas ji refuses, he tells him, "Look, you are a little child and you need someone to take care of you. You have even left your parents." The zamindar builds him a shelter near the tree because Surdas ji refuses to enter the village. Surdas ji's fame spreads far and wide, and many people come to him to seek their fortunes. Many years later, at the age of 18, Surdas realizes that I had come in search of the Lord, and look what I am doing here. In the middle of the night, he creeps away to the land of Braj. He first enters Mathura. He rests a while at Vishram Ghat, then realizes the same thing might happen again here. He would become famous again, when in actual fact he wanted to sing the praises of the Lord. So he decides to go to a quiet and unknown place called Gaughat near Agra and settle there. He sings of the Lord, and his voice is so beautiful, it attracts a lot of people, and again he becomes famous. He also accepts students and therefore has shishyas. Many years later, according to the Vallabh Digvijay Grantha, the year is AD 1510. Sri Vallabhacharya ji visits Gaughat. Surdas comes to meet him. Surdas ji comes with some of his followers. Sri Vallabh says, "Please sing something." Surdas ji sings this kirtan. "Ho Hari Sab Patitan ko Nayaka, Ho Hari Sab Patitan ko Nayaka, को करी सके बराबरी मेरी, ईते मान को लायक हों हरि, सब पतितन को नायक." And he sings another one, which is again based on the same theme. "प्रभु हों सब पतितन को टीको, और पतित सब ध्योंस चरी के, हों तो जन्मत ही को." Which is calling oneself patit, गिरा हुआ, fallen, भटका हुआ, downtrodden, and outcast in the eyes of the Lord. So Sri Vallabh hears all this and says, "जो सुर हो के वह के ऐसो गिज्ञात काहे को हो?" So Kachu, Bhagavad Leela Varnan karo. O Sur, you are brave, a warrior. Why do you whimper in this manner? Sing of the glories of the Lord's Leela pastimes. Now, here in the Bhav Prakash, Sri Hari Rai Ji explains that to be separated from the Lord is definitely being fallen, downtrodden, and outcast. But why to glorify that fact? What can we achieve? He explains that if we have to sing, let us sing of the glories of the Lord, increase the fame and mightiness of Sri Thakurji, and with that, our antakaran will also become pure. Surdas ji said, I don't understand the Lord's glories, I haven't experienced them. Sri Vallabh asks him to go have a bath in Sri Yamunaji. When Surdas returns, he gave him first the initiation of name, and second, Apshri gave him Diksha of surrender. Thirdly, he read out to Surdas ji the index of the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, Sri Hari Rai Ji in the Bhav Prakash explains that with the first Nam Diksha, Surdas Ji's doshas connected to this birth were neutralized, and he achieved the first 7 steps of bhakti. This is actually the first 7 out of the 9 steps listed under the Navada Bhakti system of Sri Narad Muni as stated in his Bhakti Sutras. Then with the second Diksha of surrender, he achieved entire Navada Bhakti. And then with the third step of listening to Dasham Skand Anukramanika, Surdas Ji achieved the highest bhakti, that of Prem Lakshana Bhakti, and thus with that the entire divine Leelas of Purna Purushottam were established in Surdas Ji's heart. How do we know that? Because Sri Vallabh recited to him the Mangalacharan that he had written for the Tika commentary on Bhagavad, which is known as Sri Subodhini Ji. Namami Hridaye Sheshe Leelakshirabdi Shainam Lakshmi Sahasra Leela Bihi Sevyamanam Kalanidhim. Then the entire Anukramanika blossomed in Surdas Ji's heart. Mahaprabhuji Sri Vallabh then asked Surdas Ji to sing. And then Surdas Ji sang loud and clear, which denoted that he had experienced the Leelas. Chakiri Chali Charan Sarovar Jahan Nahi Prem Viyog. And that line ends with Jahan Shri Sahasra Sahit Nit Krirat Shobhit Suraj Das Abna Suhai Vishairas Chillar Va Samudra Ki Aas. Then Mahaprabhuji was satisfied and said, Jo Sur, Kachu Nandalai ki Leela gao. Surdas Ji sang, Braj Bhayo Mehri ke Poot, Jab ye baat suni. So now let's listen a bit to this kirtan. This one has been sung by Sri Bhagwati Prasad Gandharv, who sings often at Nathdwara and Kankroli. And there are many Kirtaniya Jis till today who sing in the service of Sri Thakurji, a tradition that Sri Vallabh had established with Surdas Ji.
Braja Bhayo Maharake Puta Jab yeh baat suni Bhayo Maharake
And Sur continues singing and describes the entire Janmashtami celebrations at Nandalaya. So until then it was fine. But when he starts to describe the situation at the Gopijan houses, Sri Vallabh makes him stop. And Sri Vallabh ends it with Sun Sur Saban ki ya gati jo Hari Charan bhaje. Mahaprabhuji did not want him to disclose any more of the divine Leela. The Bhava Prakash says here that the Anand of the Braj Bhaktas is best adorned in their own heart. Secondly, Sri Vallabh knew what was in Surdas Ji's heart, that I have made so many disciples of my own. What will be their situation? So when Sri Vallabh says everybody will attain this spiritual level if they do Hari Bhajan, this was a guarantee to Surdas Ji that his followers will be taken care of spiritually. Interestingly, this Badhai is sung till this day in all homes and Haveli and Pushti Margya temples all over the world for Janmashtami celebrations, including this last line. So this is how Surdas Ji's association with his master, his guru, and Sri Govardhan Nath Ji begins, and it is a long and fruitful journey. Sri Vallabh had established Surdas Ji in the service of Sri Thakur Ji to sing for him for Thakur Ji at his temple. In those days, the temple of Sri Nath Ji was atop the Govardhan hill. Now it is situated in Nathdwara. Now let us travel to the end of Sri Surdas Ji's journey and learn what happens at that time. It had been many years that Sri Vallabh had already left the earthly plane. His son Sri Vitthal Nath Ji, popularly known as Sri Gosain Ji, was the head of the Sampradaya at that time. Surdas Ji now felt that Sri Govardhan Nath Ji wants him to return to the eternal Leela plane. But Surdas Ji had a manorath, a wish, to complete 125,000 padas, and till now only 100,000 were complete. So Govardhan Nath Ji appears to him and tells him, "Look in your book, the balance 25,000 are completed. I have completed them, and the chap is Surshyam." He opens his pothi, and sure enough, the pads were present. So then Surdas Ji decides to go to the village of Parasoli for his final resting place. This place is famous as there Sri Krishna and the gopis had performed the divine pastime of the Maharas dance. This Ras pastime is mentioned in the Ras Panch Adhyayi section of Srimad Bhagavatam. This place also has the famous Chandra Sarovar. This is because upon watching this Leela, the moon was awestruck with the beauty of the Ras dance of Lord Krishna with the gopis and could not move the whole night. Thus, commemorating this spiritual event, the place is known as Chandra Sarovar. Towards the west end of the Sarovar, there is a small shrine by the name of Shringar Mandir. At this celebrated place, Lord Krishna personally decorated Sri Radharani with flowers and ornaments. This place houses the Samadhi Sthali of Sri Surdas Ji. Interestingly, the Baithak of Sri Gokulnath Ji, from whose records we have learnt this story of Surdas today, is also at this place. I had the good fortune to visit Chandra Sarovar a few years ago. When Surdas Ji settles at Chandra Sarovar, Sri Gosain Ji tells his sevaks that the ship of Pushti Marg is about to leave. Go take what you can. The Vaishnavas rush to Chandra Sarovar and meet Sri Surdas Ji and tell him, "You have sung 100,000 kirtans, all based on Krishna and his Leela, but you have not sung anything to further the fame of your Guru." Surdas Ji says, "But I have never seen them as any different. My Guru, Sri Vallabh, and Sri Krishna are the same. But since you ask, I will sing one for you." And he sings, "Dradaina charanana kero bharoso, Dradaina charanana kero, Shri Vallabha nakha chandra chhata bina, Sab jag andhero. साधना और नैया कली में, जासो होत निवेरो, सुर कहा कहे द्विविध आंधरो." Dvivid Andhro, Dvivid is the two, Thakurji and my Guru. This separation between the two, this Dvividata, is what I am blind towards. Dvivida Andhra. I don't see them as different. Sur kaha kahe dvividha andharo, bina mola ko chero bharoso, dradaina charanana kero. Bina mool ko chero bharoso. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Gopi Geet section, Gopijans say, "Ashulk dasika." We don't want anything from you. We only want to serve you. And that same sentiment Sri Surdas Ji has taken and put into the last pad that he has sung, "Bina mol ko chero bharoso, Dradaina charanana kero bharoso." Thank you very much for listening to these stories, and until we meet the next time, Namaskar.